Hello and welcome! In today's fast-paced world of virtual meetings, getting heard in team calls can be tricky. You want to make your voice heard without dominating the conversation or stepping on others' toes. Your ideas, feedback, and contributions can make a significant impact on the success of your projects. But here's the catch: if you talk over others or speak too much, you might lose the respect of your team, or worse, miss out on valuable insights from others. It's all about finding that balance, being assertive while also respecting the flow of the discussion. In other words, getting heard without overpowering others is a skill that can elevate your effectiveness as a communicator and ultimately your value as a team member. Today we're going to talk about how you can get heard in team calls without overpowering others. In many conversations, silence can be your best friend. It's a great way to avoid coming off as overly eager or dominating the discussion. There's a fine line between being assertive and being aggressive, and understanding that line is crucial when you're trying to be heard in a team call. When you're waiting to speak, try pausing for a moment to gather your thoughts. Instead of saying, "I think this is the right approach," try something more confident like, "I believe this approach will lead to the best outcome because..." Stay aware of your voice, don't raise it too much, and avoid speaking too quickly. Speaking slowly and clearly conveys confidence and ensures that people understand you. This makes your message clearer and more persuasive, without sounding like you're dictating the conversation. Team calls should be a collaborative environment, and showing that you care about others' opinions helps build rapport. It shows maturity and respect for your colleagues' contributions. Until next time, happy communicating. This can make you seem more deliberate and confident, even if you're a little nervous. If someone else is sharing valuable insights, don't feel the need to jump in right away. Let them finish and consider how you can add value to their ideas. Listen actively to what others are saying and wait for a pause in the conversation. This gives you the chance to interject naturally rather than interrupting. It shows that you respect the conversation and your colleagues' time. By being mindful of these techniques, you can contribute meaningfully without overshadowing others. So, next time you're on a call, remember, it's not about speaking the most, it's about speaking with purpose. Have you ever been in a meeting where everyone talks over each other? It's frustrating, right? This approach helps build a two-way conversation, showing that you're listening and fostering teamwork. But how do you make sure you're heard without interrupting? That way, the speaker knows you're listening and ready to contribute. Let's start with why this matters. Whether you're working from home, managing a remote team, or just attending a virtual meeting, being heard is essential. So the key is to communicate with confidence, but also with respect. First, let's talk about timing, probably one of the most crucial aspects of being heard. Well, a good rule of thumb is to wait for the right moment. Here's a tip. If you're unsure when to speak, try using nonverbal cues like nodding or leaning forward to show you're engaged. Speaking of pauses, let's talk about the power of a pause. Pausing also gives others space to process your message and gives you a chance to weigh in with a more thoughtful contribution. Now, let's dive into assertiveness. To be assertive without being aggressive, you want to focus on clear, direct communication. Additionally, when you're making a point, use a calm tone. Another great way to get heard without overpowering others is to actively involve others in the discussion. Instead of just waiting for your turn to speak, ask questions that invite feedback, like, "What do you think about this idea?" Or, "I'd love to hear your thoughts on this." There's wisdom in knowing when to listen and when to speak. Sometimes your best contribution is to let the conversation flow naturally, supporting others without needing to speak constantly. To wrap things up, getting heard in team calls is all about balance, assertiveness, and respect. Timing and pausing, engaging and listening. Thanks for listening, and I hope these tips help you navigate your next team call with confidence and ease.